Alright, stop wasting time. Although the election is an internal conflict within our Fire Elf clan, the elf headquarters has already issued an order prohibiting deadly battles. So, next, you might have to endure being placed in a prison. As for the other powerful individuals from your southern tribe, in the end, they won't escape the princess's grasp. Among the three, the two men in green robes were both at the peak of 8-star Docian, while the leader, a man in a red robe, raised his hand. A surge of Doqi energy erupted, with a silver glow forming into solid ropes empowered with special forces. As soon as they appeared, they directly bound the injured man, Xiao, immobilizing him entirely. Crack! With the sound, when this terrifying power descended, the entire world outside suddenly darkened, and a strange, inexplicable aura formed an energy barrier beneath their eyelids, enveloping the void. Within the energy barrier, tens of thousands of forest plants suddenly grew wildly, instantly binding the three hostile elf men. The formation space, the binding elf silk vines formation, was the enhanced version. Who is it? Stop pretending and come out. The three men exchanged glances, feeling the overwhelming sealing energy. The red robe leader couldn't help but speak. Heh, an old friend? As the voice fell, Xiao Yan's figure suddenly appeared from the near-dead elf man. With a swirl of the void, he easily swept the injured elf into the void and saved him. A human? How dare you, human? You dare to trespass into our elf clan's holy land space. We will capture you and hand you over to the princess for punishment. With the sound of the voice, terrifying power brewed within the three men, and they rapidly shot toward the void beneath the formation space. Humans and elves were still easily distinguishable, and the energy fluctuations between them were vastly different. Moreover, the heavenly sea space was extremely mysterious. Without the guidance of an elf clan powerhouse providing spatial coordinates, even a reincarnation stage expert couldn't enter it. However, due to the tense situation, the three men naturally overlooked these issues. A human? The injured man, feeling his body rapidly moving away, glanced at Xiao Yan as the mysterious formation in the flower field trapped the three strong men. Kid, where are you running to? Elf secret art, 10,000 spirit butterfly. The red-robed leader roared, and a silver energy butterfly image suddenly formed in Baiji's palm, taking the lead in attacking, quickly chasing Xiao Yan. Boom, boom, boom. The energy butterfly appeared weak, only about several dozen meters in size, but wherever it passed, the void trembled slightly, and even the formation's power couldn't bind it. It carried a terrifying destructive force, howling outward. Hmph! Seeing this, Xiao Yan sneered. His Do soul and internal flames surged. The powerful Do-Chi energy formed a sharp, undying netherworld sparrow shadow, which spread its wings and howled toward the butterfly image. Boom, boom. The two attacks collided, and the energy within each exploded, instantly expanding and causing the temperature in the area to rise. Boom! Xiao Yan's figure disappeared, and immediately, in the flower field, the formation runes wriggled. Thick clusters of trees emerged, blocking the three men's path forward. Damned human kid! Attack! Destroy this formation together! The red-robed elf man roared. The three men nodded, and their internal energies erupted, sending terrifying attacks that shattered the formation into pieces, leaving traces of destruction. Xun'er? It's not you? Xiao Yan left the formation space with the injured man and handed him over to Xun'er, who immediately showed signs of returning to the battlefield. Wait, could it be? Suddenly, the pale-faced elf man seemed to have realized something, locking his gaze onto Xiao Yan. You stay here, it won't be long. After I deal with this, take me to find little E. The voice faded, and before they could see him, Xiao Yan had already returned the same way. Is this the brother that little E was talking about? Indeed, he has great ambition. Xun'er, why does this unconscious woman by your side look somewhat like Miss Aisha from the West Tribe? Ha ha. Although the formation's power was formidable, Xiao Yan could barely muster 90,000 formation runes, enough to deal with ordinary 8-star Docian. But against a reincarnation stage powerhouse, it would require at least 100,000. The wood-based confinement formation with 90,000 runes was terrifying, but still, dealing with two 8-star Docian at their peak and a true reincarnation stage expert was extremely difficult. Boom, boom, boom. The formation space was continuously attacked by the three men in unison, and bursts of piercing energy explosion sounds filled the air. It wouldn't be long before it was completely shattered. As the formation was on the verge of collapse, the entire world suddenly surged with an intense and scorching flow of magma-like energy. The magma resembled molten rock freshly spewed from a volcano, its amber hue breathtakingly beautiful. Amidst it, a figure resembling a fire god slowly emerged. Glurk! What kind of flame is this? The red-robed elven man squinted his eyes. His sharply pointed ears emitted strange vibrations as he fixed his gaze on the amber magma surrounding Xiao, seeming to sense an overwhelming force of flame energy that sent shivers down his spine. Undying netherworld sparrow. Sacred flame armor. Xiao roared as the amber magma poured over him, enveloping him in a dazzling sacred flame armor that granted him immense defensive power. Behind him, a fierce and brutal beast soul materialized, making a striking appearance within the formation. Elder brother, this guy is putting on a show. Let me give it a try. One of the two green-robed elves snarled, then trembled and leaped forward. Feel my palm. As the green-robed elf appeared not far from Xiao, he shouted and a brown flame swirled in his palm, faintly revealing scorching patterns. The attack shot towards Xiao like a bolt of lightning. Thud. Xiao raised his palm as well. With the support of their combined powers, he leaped into the air, unleashing a terrifying wave of Do Qi in response to the green-robed elf's attack. Buzz. Upon collision, the green-robed elf's hand shook violently, propelling him backward. Blood trickled from the corner of his mouth, and his arm felt as if it had been dislocated, making it uncontrollable. Third brother. Upon witnessing this scene, the other two elven men exchanged concerned glances, their expressions revealing urgency as they surged towards the green-robed elf. Cough, cough. The green-robed elf struggled to suppress the pain radiating from his arm, glaring at Xiao with resentment. At this moment, he felt an overwhelming sense of disbelief and unwillingness. How could this seemingly feeble guy possess such strange strength? You're really weak. Don't waste my time. Come at me together. After I finish you, I'll have to retrieve the body of that Princess Alice you're always talking about. Xiao clapped his hands, his eyes filled with a casual yet provocative demeanor. Every word seemed like an effortless gesture, but Xiao intentions were clear. He intended to use these three to test the power he had amassed so far. No matter if it was fire, lightning, or wood, he wanted to see how far he could go. Human, I observe your strength is lacking, yet your arrogance is considerable. However, you have trespassed into the sacred grounds of our elven clan, thus violating our rules. We elves are quite hospitable and won't harm you severely. At most, we'll strip you of your Do Qi and kick you out. The leader of the three elven men, the red-robed one, felt the surrounding space slightly ripple. His indifferent gaze scanned the area, realizing Xiao had no companions, and a cold glint flashed in his eyes. The three were among the elite of the Fire Elven clan's western tribe. When they combined their strengths, even a first-tier reincarnation stage opponent would be a mere equal. If it weren't for the strange flame enveloping Xiao, they might have already attacked. Together, let's suppress him. Otherwise, we might face unexpected changes. Brown flames erupted from their bodies, swirling above their heads to form strange clouds, within which a menacing giant beast flickered ominously. This giant beast contained a terrifying, immense power, and its vast eye peeked through the mist, locking onto Xiao, sending chills through his veins. Such a being, when compared to human strength, could rival the strongest of reincarnation stage entities. Is this the Fire Elves' special technique? Summoning energy spirits with the Do Qi combined from the three of them? I like it, so bring it on. Xiao let out a cold laugh, his footwork instantly bursting forth as an overwhelming battle intent surged around him. accompanied by the undying Netherworld Sparrow's battle spirit and the enhancement of the sacred flame armor. Xiao Yan's combat prowess became imposing, resembling a fearsome general. For Xiao Yan, the best way to enhance his strength was through combat, especially against opponents of higher tiers. However, reaching the reincarnation stage would likely require greater fortune, so he couldn't see a more convenient method just yet. Fusion Power, Spirit, Thunder Commander Beast. The voices of the three became unusually solemn. At the edge of the formation space, dark, snarling silver thunderclouds roared as a massive creature slowly stepped out. With every movement, the very air in the formation space trembled, as though it could shatter like thin paper at any moment. The Thunder Commander Beast, bathed in an overwhelming surge of thunderous energy, stood majestic like a griffin. Lightning power filled its mane and eyes, exuding an aura of dominion over all the living beings here, as though it was the ruler of thunder, commanding life itself. Thunder? Then, let it come. Xiao Yan roared, retracting all his powers, including the sacred flame. A bolt of gray lightning appeared like an energy shackle, wrapping itself around his skin. As soon as the gray thunder appeared, the Thunder Commander Beast in the sky lifted its proud head and let out a chilling roar. The sensation felt like the lightning on Xiao Yan's body was challenging the Thunder Commander Beast's supreme authority as a thunder energy spirit. The Thunder Commander Beast was declaring war on Xiao Yan. How could this be? The three Elven men's expressions darkened as they watched the gray thunder energy coursing through Xiao Yan's body. Their eyelids twitched violently, and they couldn't help but hesitate. Could that level of thunder power possibly surpass the Thunder Commander Beast's own? The Thunder Commander Beast was one of the most powerful creatures of the thunder attribute, and thunder stronger than its own was extremely rare. Summon the Thunder Emperor. Immortal Arts, Thunderball. Xiao Yan roared. Endless gray lightning surged from his black eyes, and immediately the entire sky's thunderous power gathered toward him. Thunder rumbled within Xiao Yan's body as the three Elven men saw the brilliant gray thunder light erupting from his body. The destructive gray lightning flowed wildly through his skin and internal energy, but it didn't cause him any harm. In fact, under the burning and nourishing effect of this power, Xiao Yan's body grew even more unyielding. Countless rolling thunders and lightning bolts gathered in his palm. A small gray sun rose slowly, containing world-shattering energy, brewing with immense force. Thunder Commander Beast, attack? The three Elven men watched the strange gray thunder suns on Xiao Yan's body. The aura from them made their eyelids twitch. They immediately channeled all their power into the Thunder Commander Beast. Among the three of them, the strongest wasn't just one, but their combined strength. Roar, roar, roar. The Thunder Commander Beast took a step forward, and the thunderous energy twisted the void where it passed. Its body moved incredibly fast, like a thunderous sun, rushing toward Xiao Yan with killing intent. But Xiao Yan noticed that the stability of the space here was terrifying. If this kind of attack were on the Dodi continent, it would have already collapsed the void. Yet here, it only caused minimal distortion, highlighting the incredible stability of the so-called heavenly sea space. Poof! Halfway through, the Thunder Commander Beast's mane stood on end as countless dazzling bolts of lightning shot toward Xiao Yan below. Silver lightning arced through the sky like stars, bringing with it a paralyzing aura. Crack! The thunder on Xiao Yan's body shook, and the thunderball he was preparing in his palm shot toward the sky. The Thunder Commander Beast's attack was easily shattered. The remaining confrontation was between the two of them. Boom! In the blink of an eye, Xiao Yan's attack was unleashed. The gray thunderball gleamed with light, and a tiny gray orb, no larger than an inch, hovered like a heartbeat, pulsating. Each pulse made the Thunder Commander Beast in the sky grow angrier. Crack! Two attacks followed in quick succession, and the entire formation space began to tremble. Boom! Deafening thunder echoed, and the tiny heart-like thunderball suddenly erupted with countless gray lightning patterns that acted like chains, binding the Thunder Commander Beast's body tightly. Roar! 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 Bound by the strange gray lightning, Even the Thunderball in Xiao Yan's palm emitted a greedy aura. The Thunder Commander Beast finally realized Xiao Yan's danger, but it was too late. Poof! Wait, no. The Thunder Commander Beast, restrained by the lightning, was unable to resist as Xiao Yan prepared to strike the final blow. However, suddenly, Xiao Yan's usual calm thunder core inside his body stirred. Continuous bursts of gray lightning shot out, pulling Xiao Yan's body rapidly toward the Thunder Commander Beast. It felt as though Xiao Yan was hunting the Thunder Commander Beast's life, or perhaps its thunderous power. Boom! Deafening sounds erupted as Xiao Yan, under the control of the gray lightning, swiftly approached the Thunder Commander Beast. This madman! At this moment, a murderous intent surged in the eyes of the three. Endless power erupted like a vast ocean, rampaging outwards. Spirit Element Finger. Sacred Heavenly Seal. Fire Spirit Palm. Three incredibly fierce voices simultaneously launched attacks towards Xiao Yan in the formation space. On the energy columns of their attacks, a strong aura of death flowed. As for Xiao Yan high up in the sky, his eyes were slightly closed, and the thunderball in his palm dimmed. The energy within the paralyzed Thunder Commander Beast's body slowly flowed into Xiao Yan's body, making his already fierce form and thunder aura appear even more terrifying than before. Creak! The three fierce attacks instantly hit Xiao Yan's body, but there was no explosive impact as expected. Glurk! How is this possible? What kind of power is this? The three elven men stared blankly at the figure hovering in the sky. At this moment, Xiao Yan's body was not only surrounded by gray thunder, but there were also faint ancient blue dragon scales appearing, amplifying his power to the maximum. Dragon Transformation, Basha Scales. Under this fleeting yet terrifying defense, the three attacks were like scratches, weak and powerless. Stop wasting my time. With a wave of his hand, Xiao Yan withdrew his dragon transformation, and his arm, surrounded by thunder, reached out towards the three of them. Fierce thunder snakes shot out one after another. Hum! Three silver thunder dragons coiled and twisted. Almost in the blink of an eye, they wrapped around the three elven men, unleashing a terrifying explosion that restricted their ability to unleash power and their plans to escape. Run! Seeing the Thunder Commander Beast fully absorbed by Xiao Yan and their attacks all blocked, the red-robed man's face flashed with cold light, and a cold shout emerged. Though the human strength seemed weak, once engaged in battle, the explosive combat power from his seemingly fragile body left even a reincarnation stage expert like him helpless. This must be reported to Princess Alice immediately. Retreat. As the red-robed man finished speaking, they hesitated not at all, transforming into three beams of light, breaking through the weak spots of the formation space, moving as fast as lightning, making it almost impossible to defend. So eager to leave. Where are you going? However, before they could break through the formation space, a void began to wriggle. Xiao Yan's figure leisurely emerged from within, smiling as he watched the three men. The terrifying gray thunder on his body flickered slightly, releasing a terrifying force. Human, if you move, stop talking nonsense. After some struggle, Xiao Yan knocked the three men unconscious. Chains of gray thunder firmly bound them. The Thunder Battle Core absorbed the Thunder Commander Beast's power. It seems to be getting more radiant. The Battle Array Master's power still requires the completion of the Divine Movement Inscription Collection. Let's meet up with the others. Hope Little is fine. With that, the formation space was dismantled, and Xiao Yan, carrying the three unconscious men, moved towards the rear. Thankfully, the formation space had blocked the disturbances. Otherwise, such a massive battle would certainly have alerted other powerful beings. Lord Xiao Yan. When Jiao Xian saw Xiao Yan approaching with the three unconscious figures, he was completely taken aback. Though the combined strength of these three was terrifying, it couldn't stir up any storm in my hands. Xiao Yan casually tossed the three men over to them. These were internal conflicts within the Elven clan, and unless absolutely necessary, Xiao Yan would not kill. Though unconscious, the three men's powers were quite strange. After combining their extreme fire attributes, They had mutated to summon the Thunder Commander Beast. Against ordinary beings, they could probably challenge even a first-tier reincarnation, but unfortunately, they met Xiao. The gray thunder on Xiao's body was the power of the Thunder Master. The Thunder Master's power, even the slightest trace of its origin, was not something that could be compared to reincarnation power. Lord Xiao's might is indeed extraordinary. Confirming the three men were fine, only temporarily knocked out by the massive force, Xiao smiled. Enough chit-chat. I came here for little E. What's the situation with him now? Xiao walked up to Xiao, looking at the so-called Little Yi's personal guard. This guy was no different from an ordinary elven man. Pointed ears, slightly long nose, except for the fact that his body was covered in scars, clearly having experienced a terrifying battle. My lord, to be honest, the situation in our southern tribe is probably in grave danger. Princess Alice from the western tribe has united her entire faction and is trying to wipe us out. These three are among the top elites in the western tribe, the Thunder Spirit Trio. Together, they can contend with a first-tier reincarnation expert. Our southern tribe's top fighters are just two elders, one at the first tier, one at reincarnation stage. Apart from them, the rest are 8-star Docian perfected like me. Recently, many strong elven warriors from the western tribe have appeared near our tribe's border. Xiao shook his head slightly, a trace of self-blame in his voice. After all, he was only at the peak of 8-star Docian, and it was no easy feat to hold back 3 opponents. Is Little E all right? Xiao's heart skipped a beat, but he still asked in a low voice. Lord Little E and the 2 reincarnation-level elders are stationed at the tribe. I will take you to them right now. I've heard Lord Little E mention you before. Now that I've met you in person, you truly are extraordinary. Xiao grinned, his smile wide. Although Xiao's strength was not great, after defeating the Lei Ling 3 envoys, no one dared to underestimate him now. Whoosh whoosh. Suddenly, as the 3 were about to move, a sharp, high-pitched buzzing sound echoed from the distant sky, almost like a piercing eagle's cry. What's going on? Xiao noticed that when the buzzing sound reached their ears, both Jiao Xian and Xiao's faces tightened with solemnity. This is our tribe's assembly signal. Someone must be attacking. Lord Xiao, please follow me. Without another word, Xiao's body surged, transforming into a streak of light as he rushed toward their tribe's direction. Leave the Lei Ling 3 envoys to you. Aisha, I will take her. Let's go. Xiao, with Aisha in tow, followed Xiao as they headed for the southern tribe. No matter who it was, if they threatened Little E, Xiao would be the first to oppose them. In the vast expanse of the heavenly sea, the land stretched endlessly, filled with vibrant colors and a beauty that resembled an immortal paradise, suffused with an ethereal aura. Now, near the southernmost part of the heavenly sea, a prosperous land exuded an unprecedented scent of smoke and battle, invigorating all who smelled it. Boom, boom. On the war-torn ground, figures of various shapes and sizes, all elves, tirelessly fought, while in the distance, at the very center of it all, a massive island stood, isolating all forces. Yet, the situation within was not looking good. Inside the grand island, the air was thick with energy, as dense as viscous liquid, suffocating those who entered. Violent energy waves rippled through, accompanied by fierce shock waves, ravaging the entire Elven island. For the tribe. For Lord Little E. Charge. Kill all the enemies who are attacking our tribe. Bloodshed appeared on the island, and roars echoed endlessly, yet the situation seemed to be one of defeat. My lord, all the combatants in the southern tribe have been captured. There are less than 100 resistors left, including the 2 reincarnation elders and Lord Little E. They are all holed up within the Elven Island. We tried to use absolute force to suppress the Elven Island and capture Lord Little E, but we were repelled by some ancient flame. That force seems to be the firepower residual in Lord Little Yi's reincarnation mark. Deep within the smooth forest ground, a small team of only 10 members appeared. Surprisingly, even the weakest among them were in the late stages of 8-star Docian. The three elders leading them emanated an extremely terrifying aura. That power was reincarnation. 3 reincarnation-level figures. Yes. Send my order. Bring all the captives from the southern tribe here. Mole, you're in charge. I've heard that Lord Little E from the southern tribe is a ruler known for both kindness and strictness. This time, the southern tribe was broken by Princess's subtle strategy. I'm eager to see whether his life is more important or his subordinates' lives. The elder leading the group spoke with an air of faint self-assurance, calm and collected, as though to him, everything seemed like a mere joke. Yes, Chief. The elf man named Mole respectfully replied. The Fire Elf clan had a deeply rooted heritage, not something outsiders could simply challenge for an election. The Elven island was vast, spanning around 100 miles, but now it was surrounded by many powerful figures from the western tribe, compressing the space to only about a kilometer. Around the Elven island, there flowed a river several dozen meters wide, and purple flames swirled above it. Every time the flames flickered, any western tribe elf trying to bypass the river and enter the Elven island was repelled, as though these purple flames posed a lethal threat to them. The Elven island was surrounded by an energy barrier, with purple flames swirling around the edges. This protective barrier safeguarded the last remaining sanctuary, tightly sealed. Within the purple flames, a beautiful, ethereal figure flickered in and out of view. Under this force, even reincarnation-level warriors seemed dimmed. My lord, take some pills to restore your strength. A man sat cross-legged on a rock, his eyes filled with some ancient fluctuation. Even at the center of his forehead, a trace of purple flame formed a special, mysterious mark, slowly flickering. With a tall, slender body and a handsome face, a clear, menacing aura was evident. However, this figure was someone Xiao Yan was very familiar with. Xiao. The current Xiao was no longer the newborn fire spirit from before. With the enhancement of the Holy Flame Embryo and the Reincarnation Seal, her status had already risen to the leader of the Southern Tribe, one of the 3 great tribes. Although her strength was only at the perfect 8-star Do Xian stage, her combat power was probably on par with Xiao Yan's. Distribute the pills to restore Do Qi and heal injuries to the wounded brothers, Xiao said, scanning the area. She looked at the serious injuries of the elves following her, and a rare, cold light appeared in her eyes. Lord, the situation is critical. We will gather everyone's strength and forcibly break the void to send you away from the heavenly sea, said 2 of the reincarnation elders after a long pause. Predecessors, what do you mean? Xiao was taken aback. A thick, murderous intent spread in her eyes. This time, it was indeed her negligence. The Western tribe had fabricated false intelligence, causing her to make a misjudgment, which led to the current unfavorable situation. Lord, Princess Alice has sent the Western tribe's army to attack us, catching us off guard. Moreover, the combat power in our 2 tribes is disproportionate. If you are captured, the last hope of our southern tribe will be completely extinguished. As long as you can awaken what has been dormant in the Fire Elf clan, everything we have done will have been worth it. Unfortunately, the other 2 tribes, driven by selfishness, have made such absurd moves. They are clearly targeting you. If you are captured, the 2 electors from the other tribes will not hesitate to take the reincarnation seal from your body, and then, the elders' faces darkened with worry. Looking at the other elves not far away, who were once handsome and elegant men and women, they now looked disheveled, covered in blood, with numerous wounds on their arms and bodies, their combat power greatly reduced. If I leave, all of you will perish here, Xiao said, waving her hand decisively. This matter is not up for discussion. Even if we fight to the last soldier, our southern tribe will never have traitors who flee on their own. Alas. The 2 reincarnation elders sighed, relief mixed with worry in their eyes. Although their lord was of good character and decisive in action, now, she could barely protect herself. Boom. As everyone conversed, a loud sound rang out from beyond the Elven island. What's going on? Xiao quickly stood up, asking the Elven guards behind her. Lord Xiao, what do you think of this? A sinister, eerie laugh echoed from outside the Elven island. Creak. With a sound, the elven man Xun'er appeared at the edge of the purple flame river. His body instantly soared into the air, and with a wave of his hand, two barely alive figures materialized from the void. The two men were extremely weak, bound by elven shackles that tightly restrained them. "Those are two of Lord Xiao's personal guards," one of the elves said in shock. "This madman." The other elves in the island clenched their fists, their eyes turning red with fury. "Kneel." Xun'er, the elven man who had appeared, wore a sneer on his lips. He snapped his fingers, piercing the two men's ankles. Blood poured uncontrollably, and the two men froze in the void, kneeling in submission. This act seemed deliberately provocative toward Xiao. "Xun'er, don't go too far." There were clear rules set by headquarters: no harm in internal conflicts. "You're trying to challenge the authority of the Fire Elf clan headquarters." An elven woman beside Xiao roared, her anger erupting like a volcano. "Hee, the headquarters law forbids any deaths or injuries. I'm just teaching some of these ignorant fools a lesson, so it's perfectly reasonable." It's rumored that Lord Xiao, the commander of the southern tribe, is a wise ruler. But it seems that the rumors may not be true after all. "I'll count to 3. Xun'er sneered coldly. "If she doesn't show up by then, I'll end the lives of these two. For Princess Alice's victory, I wouldn't mind bearing the blame." 1. The long, drawn-out voice pierced the elves on the island, sounding like the bell of death. Once it reached its peak, it might. "Lord, you can't go," one of the elves exclaimed in panic. The two reincarnation elders spoke in trembling voices, fully aware of Xiao's temperament. "Now, is there any better way?" Xiao stood up, with faint purple flames swirling around her body. A stunning female soul figure appeared beside her, but even that could not hide the weakness radiating from her. 2. Crack. At the count of 2, Mole flipped his hand, and a burst of brown flames appeared. Without any concealment, they directly struck the souls of the two elven men. The intense, painful sensation twisted their faces, as if they would fall at any moment. "My lord. Quick, run. This is a conspiracy. Don't worry about us. It is an honor to serve under you in this life." The two exchanged a glance, and then brilliant dark light began to surround them. Their noble cause appeared to take shape, and they were prepared to self-destruct to ease the current difficult situation. Trying to self-destruct? Not so easily. Elven Mark, suppress them. Mole snorted coldly, and with a flip of his hand, he suppressed the restless elven essence within the two men. Immediately, the surrounding space, once filled with brilliant, violent energy, calmed down under the gaze of everyone. "It seems that the so-called ruler will also disregard your lives when the time comes. If that's the case, you'd be better off following our princess." Mole's mocking voice never ceased, seemingly provoking the few remaining patience Xiao had. "My lord, this is... Where is my lord?" The two reincarnation elders and the elven woman turned to look behind, only to find that Xiao's figure had disappeared without a trace. 3. With the final count, a storm of energy surged out from Mole's body, forming a dazzling energy blade that hovered over his palm. His cold, sharp attack headed straight for the throats of the two men. "My subordinates are not easy to insult like this." A calm voice, like thunder, rang out from a small gap in the Elven Island's energy barrier. It echoed in the minds of countless Elven experts. A tall figure stood across from them, and even Mole's attack was shattered by this figure's combined effort. So this is the true ruler. But, spatial seal. Mole raised his hand, and an endless, radiant smile appeared on his face. The brilliant spatial aura immediately crossed the purple flame river and sealed off the escape route behind Xiao, luring Xiao out, cutting off her escape route. This was his true intention. Then, feel free to try. Purple flames twisted savagely in Xiao's eyes, as an overwhelming killing intent spread from her body. Her fury reached its peak, and Xiao naturally didn't care for the rules issued by the Fire Elven headquarters. These Western clan fools had gone too far. "If you keep being a turtle, none of us can do anything to you." "What a pity." Small tolerance disrupts great plans. The three of you, it's up to you now. Mole chuckled coldly, and the surrounding void seemed to collapse under the pressure of some terrifying force, revealing 3 terrifying auras. Heh, Xiao, just surrender. The 3 agile elders materialized, their aged faces adorned with profound patterns, and their auras were not something any ordinary person could compare to. They were the true foundation of the Western clan, 2 peak reincarnation elders, and 1 first-tier reincarnation elder. Chieftain of the Western clan, 2 reincarnation elders. You really think highly of me. Xiao smiled faintly, her purple flames growing fiercer in her eyes, even the reincarnation mark on her forehead emitting a gentle warmth. Attack. Capture her alive. The chieftain's command rang out, and the 2 reincarnation elders turned into beams of light, quickly chasing after Xiao. They crossed the void, trailing brown flames that shook the very heavens and earth. Crack! With a sound, the attacks from the 2 reincarnation elders of the Western clan suddenly faltered as energy ripples surged forth when they were about to reach Xiao. My lord, we swear to follow you to the death. Kill! Leading the Southern clan, the 2 reincarnation elders charged forward, and all the remaining Elven men rushed out. The Elven woman had been with Xiao the whole time, almost like a guardian by her side. Attack! Whoosh! A terrifying clash erupted as endless smoke and dust filled the void above. Since that's the case, I'll capture you personally. Elven's secret art. The voice of the Western clan chieftain rang out. Brown flames surged from his body, forming a razor-sharp sword. Cold, deadly glints flickered at the tip of the blade. Vroom vroom. The buzzing sound filled the air as the chieftain's body vanished into the void. Little Yi's purple flames surged in her eyes, wrapping around her palm as she directly resisted the elder chief's flame blade with her own. Crack! Indeed, the first-tier reincarnation stage is extraordinary. Little Yi thought to herself, her body shaking as she quickly retreated, and the power within her surged once again. Clearly, after their brief exchange, Little Yi had already been thrown into disarray by the so-called elder chief's overwhelming force, disrupting the flow of energy inside her. Poof! After shaking Little Yi's inner energy, the elf chief, with a lazy expression, casually clapped his hands, and several energy pillars appeared around him. The aura carried an irresistible, terrifying power, which immediately struck the elf warriors who came to Little Yi's rescue. These warriors were almost all at the 8-star Dosien level, but when hit by a reincarnation-level attack, their bodies collapsed violently, as if convulsing. The reincarnation-level attack was devastating for these elf warriors who supported Little Yi. The weaker ones were engulfed in blood mist, with gory blood streaks appearing across their skin. The stronger ones were sent flying back, their bodies falling to the ground like withered flowers and broken willows. Crack! The 2 reincarnation elders from the southern tribe knew that their scattered forces were no match for the elder chief. They immediately released a surge of power, pushing back the 2 reincarnation-level warriors from the western tribe, and secretly began forming a deep space passage. Space passage! The elder chief furrowed his brows, his gaze falling upon a mass of black clouds behind the 2 reincarnation elders. From within the black clouds, an enormous surge of spatial energy emerged, clearly leading to an external portal. Lena, take the master and go. The heavenly sea can't be kept now. The 2 reincarnation elders desperately resisted the attacks of the surrounding elf warriors. Their hand seals changed in the blink of an eye, and the space passage within the black clouds began to shimmer. Master, follow me. Lena ignored the rising purple flames on Little Yi and stretched out her delicate hand, pulling Little Yi toward the black clouds. Lena, thank you. But a man must carry a 3-foot sword and achieve greatness. I cannot leave. As she spoke, Little Yi's body was surrounded by rolling purple flames, like thunder striking, illuminating the entire space. What are you standing there for? Run! The 2 reincarnation elders yelled desperately. Their energy was nearly exhausted, but they saw Little Yi and Lena still standing still, and they roared. Wanna leave? Not so easily. The elder chief seized the moment and unleashed a torrent of energy, fiercely shooting it toward little E and the spatial cloud. The terrifying power within it would annihilate any strong warrior, even reincarnation level ones, without a trace. Go! Little E pulled the elf warrior Lena beside her and endured the aftermath of the elder chief's attack. Thud! Little E was heavily wounded, spitting blood as her face turned pale, the purple flames around her dimming. The sheer aftermath of the blast held such terrifying power. If the full force had struck, it was hard to imagine. Attack! Completely annihilate everyone here. The elder chief took the lead, flipping his palm as a terrifying force attacked the remaining dozen or so stubborn elf warriors. Purple Princess Heavenly Shadow. Little E looked at the countless energy threads shooting toward her, her reincarnation seal glowing brightly. A beautiful, colossal heavenly figure enveloped all the elf warriors. Creak. Even with the enhancement of the reincarnation seal, her mere 8-star Do Xian perfect level could not protect so many powerful warriors. The huge soul shadow collapsed almost instantly under the onslaught of such terrifying power. Little Yi's body began to twist under the immense pressure and destructive force, blood pouring out from her ears, nose, and pores. Damn it! Am I going to die? As the death beams drew nearer, Little Yi's body could barely move, and the unimaginable pain spread through her body. A grim, savage look appeared on her handsome face as deep growls escaped her lips. In the distance, a massive fire beast, thousands of feet long, sped toward Little E under the elder chief's emotionless control.